Kenny Dichter, Wheels Up recently closed a very big investment round with some big Wall Street players, including T. Rowe Price and Fidelity. The airline business has seen a lot of casualties, so what makes Wheels Up different?
We start with a special asset. We have a King Air 350i that we purchased exclusively from the Textron Aviation Corp. Beechcraft is one of their brands. Most iconic airplane ever built. 7,800 manufactured since 1963. 6,700 still flying. It's a Mack truck. Why it's special is we're able to deliver 8-9 seats, which is our capacity on that plane, for $3,950, which is about a 50% reduction from what the entry level was before we started our business.
And where do you fly? What's the maximum distance? Because aren't you filling a void filled by a lot of the larger airlines who are pulling out a lot of the regional spots?
Well, with consolidation, it left a lot of routes unflown. And if you're a business person and you need to get from A to B to C in a day, and the flight's less than, call it 3 hours, which is, by the way, 85% of all general aviation flights, private jet flights, are less than 3 hours, the King Air is the perfect solution. Now we have the membership model, which makes it nice and easy. $29,500 if you're a corporate, and that allows you 5 or 6 lead passengers. That's an annual, first year payment. The recurring is $14,500 on corporate. Individual member and your family, $17,500 to join, $8,500 per year after that. And it makes it easy. You pay as you go.
So it's like a Costco model.
It's a Costco model. I like to think Amazon Prime.
All right.
But I love the Costco model and I love the Amazon model, which is it's a recurring revenue stream. Our collective member base pays for our ability to have the airplanes in position when people need them.
And how fancy are the aircraft? Because when you think private jet, you think chandeliers or Air Force One or whatever you think.
We're not flying the Ferraris or the Maseratis of the car space. We're flying the Ford, the Ford Explorer, Eddie Bauer edition, of course, the Range Rover, the Jeep. That's really what the King Air is. So as far as luxury goes, it's beautifully appointed, but it's not a luxurious product.
And reserving your jet, now a lot of people do it online or with phones. This is another thing that Wheels Up really specializes in, right?
Well, you know what? We know where the planes are, we know where the crews are, and we know where our members are. So technology, and by the way, thanks Travis at Uber, we can geolocate everybody. So with the push of a couple of buttons on our smartphone app, you can have your airplane 24 hours booked and go.
And it's still a very fractured market. I guess you compete with the likes of Berkshire Hathaway, their NetJets. Can you talk about the competition out there?
Sure. Berkshire Hathaway, NetJets, FlexJet, Flight Options, there's been programs that have been around for 20 and 30 years. I think what we're doing is we're trying to be the Facebook, the Google of the aviation space by doing things a bit differently. Low commitment, an entry level that addresses 1 million or 2 million people versus the 50 or 60,000 that the old models address. So do we cross over a little bit? I would say a little, but we're really building the base of the market.
Have you seen a correlation between private flight usage and the stock market? Because the stock market's going through clearly a rough patch of late. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's going to affect membership going forward? Well,
I would say that the larger the jet is, the more exposure that jet has to the marketplace. When you're dealing down here, which is really, we're a utility. We get CEOs and we get high net worths and we get entrepreneurs from A to B to C, and we're doing it at the most understandable price point in the space. So I would say flying Wheels Up is like a flight to gold. When the markets come down a little bit, I think that's we're uniquely positioned to handle that kind of marketplace.
And then finally, speaking of the markets, any plans for Wheels Up to go public in the near or far future?
Well, I think, you take in investors with the quality level that we've taken in, T. Rowe Price and Henry Ellenbogen, who runs the New Horizons Fund, and the folks at Fidelity and NAA. I think ultimately, when the public markets are ready for us, call it 2.5, 3 years out, I think we'll be ready for them. So I think with the recurring revenue model, with the durability of earnings that kind of sticky model can produce, I think we'll be ready in about 2 years' time.
All right. Thanks a lot, Kenny.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching The Street.